So you enjoy gambling, but you think it just needs more dragons. You're hopelessly addicted to the sound of that clickety-clackety dice clattering in the hopes of that devastating declaration, critical hit. Today we'll look at how to maximize your critical hits through a somewhat obnoxious process called crit fishing. Now I will acknowledge that D&D Daily built a fun gambling and luck-based character that actually plays pretty well, and Pack Tactics both showed how to make a good archer/wizard and why this exact build is not that good. Well, it's not so bad that I cannot make a worse one. So let's dive in to the shallow pond of crit fishing. First off, what is crit fishing? Crit fishing is a simple idea that you're building your character around getting lots of critical hits and doing lots of damage. This build can be about more damage than roleplay. Dungeons & Dragons without the roleplay can devolve into strategic games of chance. Since the aforementioned channels already built archery-based characters, especially using that elven accuracy to re-roll non-hits into hits or crits, I'm going to make a melee-based one as an example. Plus, this build is kind of a let's let off some steam after a long week of data entry build, which sometimes we need. So start off with a half-orc. I mean, you could choose a GIF and call it a hippo crit, but we'll go with the race that adds an additional damage die with a critical hit. We'll start with Barbarian to get that rage going, and you can ask your DM if the extra damage dealt by rage is going to double on critical hits, because that will get us some good damage right off the bat. At second level Barbarian, we're going to start rolling those extra dice with Reckless Attack, and that is going to double our chances of getting a crit. The idea of rolling more dice is essential to crit fishing, but we want to make sure it's with advantage, because doubling the dice doubles the chances of getting a 1 as well, and that's always a miss, and we do not celebrate crit miss. After getting that feature, we're going to move over to take levels in Fighter at level 3. So that's a 2 levels Barbarian, 1 level Fighter. When we hit second level Fighter, we're going to get Action Surge, which is going to allow us an extra action once per short or long rest. How much this is actually going to change your math, and I have tried the math, this really depends on your fight to nap ratio in your game. So that could really be anything. All right. At level 3 Fighter, level 2 Barbarian, we're going to go with a subclass, and you all know it was coming, Champion, because at Champion you're going to get your both 19 and 20 count as critical hits, which essentially doubles the number of crits you get. On the next level, you're going to get either a feat or an ability score increase. Now, adding more strength will increase more hits and will do more damage, but we're just about trying to roll more dice, so we're going to choose the lucky feat, which allows us to roll a certain number of dice per rest again. By the time we're going to hit fifth level Fighter and second level Barbarian, we're going to get to double our attacks. So now for our base normal attack, we get 2 attacks, each of which has 2 dice because we're going reckless, and there's also a 19 or a 20 with a critical hit. So essentially it's close to a 40% likelihood of getting a crit in a turn, and that's before you throw in the lucky feat, and that's before you throw in Action Surge. And that's before you throw in the dice fell on the ground, I swear. So it's not bad, and that's just at 7th level. So it's not super complicated either. If you want to make it a little more complicated, ask your DM if you can join the Cult of Zariel. If you join the Cult of Zariel, you get Ferocious Surge, which allows you to just replace a hit with a crit once per rest. But we're not without problems. First off, you're just taking a roll more dice approach, and if you roll more dice without advantage, you're increasing the chances of critical misses, but if you roll more dice with reckless attacks, you also increase the chance of hits and crits against you, which can make your Barbarian go down faster than it should. Now you can just take a 3rd level in Barbarian at some point, and you're going to get that totem path, and maybe choose Totem of the Bear if you're getting a lot of weird damage going against you, and that will help cut the damage in half and make a more survivable character. Second off, this build's not really built for complex roleplay. This isn't like a bard cleric or something with a lot of spell casting and a lot of thought-provoking background. I mean, you can make this half-orc fighter barbarian a complex and nuanced character, but that's a bit more to throw in. Now, of course, sometimes you just want to smash things, and that's fine too, but check to see what the mood at your table is before you decide to just go full Hulk. Finally, there's little that this build does outside of combat. I mean, it has strength, but you're not using ability scores to gain in strength, so there's really not much it does outside of combat. But I mean, hey, if your DM is laying down an all-you-can-beat buffet, this could actually be a pretty fun build.